Hi guys, it's me, Trudy Lee. How's everybody doing? Well, good news. I got my Christmas tree put up. That was the last thing I needed to do. After I made my last video and I said my husband never helps or does anything. I don't know if he saw that video, but I'd left this room and I went to start cooking. I started cooking dinner and he started assembling the tree. Yeah, after 44 years of him never helping me put up the Christmas tree, he does sometimes go outside and put up lights, and he did put some lights up already. He put them up before Thanksgiving. We have two columns in the front of the house and some bushes around, so he put up Christmas lights all around right before Thanksgiving. So he does do that, and he did it. My dogs are barking. But all of a sudden, he was assembling the tree. And I'm like, and he told me he put it all together. It's a pre-lit tree. He put it all together. He fluffed up the branches and he goes, "Don't say I don't help you." And I didn't want to ask him, "Did you watch my video?" He usually doesn't watch them, and I didn't want to encourage him to watch it. So I'm like, "Well, thank you. I appreciate it because it really helped out." I cooked dinner, and then after dinner, I was able to hang up all the ornaments on the tree. I have way too many ornaments. As a matter of fact, I didn't even use all of them because I don't know. I keep getting more ornaments. Do y'all do that? You see some ornaments, you're like, "Oh, it's so pretty. I'm going to add that to my tree," and then pretty soon there's just too much. So I have ribbon on them, and I have all kinds of ornaments, but I have really big ornaments because I saw one time this tree with ribbon and these giant ornaments, and it was so pretty. So I got these really big ornaments, so they take up a lot of the room. But anyway, I digress. It's pretty and it's all done. And we're still going to tweak the yard a little bit. I think my daughter's going to do that. But it's been cold here. Today it hasn't even reached 60 degrees yet. It's Wednesday, so it's December the 4th. We got a lot of birthdays coming up here too this December. My daughter, my granddaughter, my niece. We got and a friend of mine too right after Christmas. So we got a lot of December birthdays, at least four right off the bat here. Anyway, I wanted to say a little bit more about Joe Biden, President Biden, pardoning his son because Democrats are losing their minds, to put it nicely. It just irritates me so bad how Democrats turn on one another. And we saw them turn on President Biden, and it may be the reason why we're in this mess right now. Because, they said, "No, we don't want you to run out, you're out, you're out." And they did that to him. And now they're saying, "Well, now that you pardoned your son, we have to answer for that. You're leaving us in a mess, President Biden." Well, just think of all the things they did to him, and he handled it so gracefully. But what they're upset about is because they said Biden lied. He lied. He said he would never interfere, and he did. Well, Biden was saying that he wouldn't interfere and he wouldn't pardon his son because he thought the justice system was going to handle his son's case fairly. You know, he had faith in the system. When he saw that it was failing and that Hunter was being unfairly targeted, prosecuted, they, they brought felony charges against him for not filling out a gun purchase when he was high. That he said, "No, I'm not a drug user," and he was high as a kite when he did it. And they're going to prosecute him for a felony offense for a straw purchase. And they don't ever usually do that, but they are going to do it to him. And then on his taxes, while he was using and he was being a drug abuser, he wasn't paying his taxes. Got straight, paid all his taxes, paid the interest, paid all the penalties, paid everything back, but they still wanted to prosecute him for a felony instead of like how they handle it with most people by working out some kind of restitution, but not for Hunter Biden. But that's because they were going after Biden and they couldn't find anything at all on him. So they had to target his son to hurt him. And that's what Biden has recognized. He's recognized exactly what they did. And Biden is a little bit at fault too, or maybe a lot, because he appointed Merrick Garland, and Merrick Garland should have taken care of all that, but he didn't. As we know, Merrick Garland didn't take care of anything. So Democrats really ought to be mad at Merrick Garland. That's who they should be upset with. And if you look at, you know, Hunter Biden's cases, any reasonable person would say, President Biden, pardon your son. Pardon your son. Anybody would. Everybody would. And here we got these Democrats mouthing off. You know, Trump pardoned Mike Flynn. He lied to the FBI. He pardoned Paul Manafort. He was taking money from foreign entities, I don't know, foreign money. Roger Stone, Charles Kushner, that's Jared Kushner's father, and I think it was tax evasion and some kind of thing about he filmed his brother-in-law having sex with a prostitute. He set it all up, and then he sent this video to his sister. I don't know, something like that. But he pardoned him for all that stuff and made him ambassador to France. Right? Who else? Steve Bannon, George Papadopoulos, Albert Piero. That's Jeannie Piero's ex-husband. No wonder she's just so nice to Trump. And this was for some tax evasion thing too. And there's some different rappers that he also pardoned. But you know, they were selling pardons. Remember Giuliani? They were selling the pardons to the highest bidders. So, you know, they're the MAGA crowd, they're just crying and, you know, saying what Biden is doing is wrong. They are such hypocrites. And I don't know if y'all heard Bernie Sanders. He said something like, this Biden is giving a big FU to the Democratic Party. And that's for doing because they screwed him over. So he's saying, I'm screwing y'all over too. But that's not it. He's not trying to screw over anybody. He's protecting his son. That's his only son. That's the only thing he can offer his son. Could you be on your deathbed and die knowing your son is in jail and you could have prevented that and you could have saved that, and that you feel he was targeted because of you and you could have stepped in and done something about it and you didn't? How could he you know, die a peaceful death knowing those things? Of course he's going to protect his son. And like I said, when the Democrats turned on Biden, he behaved gracefully. He embraced and endorsed Kamala Harris. He didn't go out there and say, y'all are making a big mistake. Trump's going to win now. He didn't say what he was thinking or what he wanted to say. He sucked it up. So Democrats, suck it up. Be like Biden and suck it up. Democrats need to stop attacking good people in this party. Stop running them off, like Al Franken. I loved him. He was such a good senator, and we needed him so much in the Senate, and they ran him off. They just ran him off. They didn't even give him a chance. They didn't give him a hearing. They didn't give him a nothing. Get out of here. Bye. See you later. Just like Biden. See ya. Bye. It's coming back to bite them in the ass. The way they're behaving is coming back and biting them in the ass. Biden did what was best for his son, best for his family. Any of us would have done that if we would have been in his shoes. Any of us. So, you know, now I know a lot of people that were watching it are saying, that's right, that's correct. I'm with you, Trudy. But there's some that are saying, Biden shouldn't have lied. Biden shouldn't have done that. You know, some of the people that are in office. And those are the ones that I'm actually preaching to and talking to, that they need to turn it around. So, you know, you could always take action. You can write your Democratic senators, congressmen, and say, stand behind Biden. Stand behind. I'm glad he pardoned his son. Please stand behind Biden and stand up for Biden because I do. So, you know, That's how we can pressure them to stop behaving the way that they are, to say, you're not representing our wishes, and we're the ones that put you in office. So that's one way we can show it, to support Biden. And remember, I told y'all, this is a lesson for all. Trump coming into power is a lesson for the Democrats and the Republicans, because there's things that they did wrong. Now, I'm not saying you or me did anything wrong. We voted for whoever they put in front of us. We voted for democracy. We voted to save the power of the people. But these people have to learn a lesson. And that's, unfortunately, we're all spectators and we're all going to watch it unfold. But we're going to stay in our bubble, right? Remember the bubble. We're going to put that protective bubble around ourselves and know that everything's going to be okay. No matter what happens, it's going to be okay. It's going to be uncomfortable watching those people, how they're going to have to get along, and what's going to happen in Congress and the Senate. But we need to protect ourselves from it and know that in 2 years, this can all change. We can shift things and we can right the ship a little bit in 2 years when we go and elect some more Democrats. And the House hardly has even majority of Republicans, so it's very, very slim. So the Democrats flipped 3 Republican seats in California. That other 13th district was just called for a Democrat. So right now it stands at 220 Republicans to 215 Democrats. But then Trump has picked a bunch of people out of Congress. After he picks everybody out that he wants, if they get confirmed and all, it'll either be 216 or 17 to 215. So they're only going to have 1 or 2 votes higher than Republicans. And that means that they're going to have to work together. Republican and Democrats are definitely going to have to govern together to get anything done and any bills passed. So it's going to be chaos again. But at least we know that they're not going to be able to mow everything down and just do anything they please and everything they want, because they have to have a majority of votes on many different things. So they're going to need some Democratic votes also. So they're not going to be able to ram things down our throat. And then within 2 years, we're going to have another vote and we're going to even balance it better. So like I said, everybody's going through some learning curve here. And it's going to be okay. It really is. And we're going to stay in our little bubble and we're going to say everything's going to be fine. Everything's working itself out as it should. So you guys don't stress out. Don't worry. Everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to take care of itself, meaning through lessons. And lessons that will be hard learned, that we need to go through and learn, but it's going to be okay. It really is. And I'm not going to do a reading right now, but I just wanted to come out and talk on the behalf of President Biden and let y'all know how I felt about it. You already know, but I can't believe other Democrats are swinging a bat at Biden as he's going through the door. It's just like, get out of here. Like he hasn't done and accomplished so much in his presidency. It's like they've forgotten everything that he's accomplished, even though, it's been rough. It's been really rough. I can't imagine having my son being persecuted the whole time, I'm the president. And he could have stopped it. He could have stopped it a long time ago. He could have just pardoned his son a long time ago and said, enough is enough. Or he could have went to Merrick Garland and said, stop this crap, But he didn't, because he's a fine man. And we have to all remember that. So let's send him a lot of love and healing, to President Biden and his family, to Hunter. I'm so proud of Hunter. He's clean. He's been clean for 5.5 years. He got his life together. He's married. He has a child. He's doing well. Who would want to see that man go to jail after all that he's been through, his brother died, his sister died, his mother died. He went through so much in his life. There, a lot of us would be in, in a bad state. A lot of us would be, but he's pulled himself out, and I'm proud of him, and I'm happy for the family. So God bless him. I'm just going to send lots of healing and love to Biden and his family as he leaves, and everything's going to be okay. It really is. Okay. All right, guys, if you'd like to get a reading with me, I'm doing readings. I'm going to shut this video off and start doing readings for the people that have asked me to. But if you'd like a healing session, I love doing healing sessions. So if you'd like a healing session, let me know. As a matter of fact, I have a sick granddaughter I did a healing session for last night. She seems to be doing better. She thinks she might have gotten food poisoning, but I feel like when I did the healing session for her, I got that it was a viral bug and not a food poisoning, which they're very similar. But she she did have a little bit of different symptoms that I didn't even know about. I just did the healing session when I found out she was throwing up and sick. So I started doing a healing session, and right away I was told it's a bug. It's a bug. And I texted her and I said, what are your symptoms? Are you feeling body aches and pains and chills? And she was. She had the chills and body aches and pains, kind of like a flu bug. So they call it stomach flu. That's not really a name, but that's what people call it, stomach flu, and I think that's what she had. But hopefully she's doing a lot better. She lives in Austin, so she lives about an hour and 15 minutes from her mom. Her mom lives here close to me. So her mother drove to her last night and stayed there for 4 or 5 hours, made sure she had plenty of Pedialyte, Gatorade, and made sure she was okay and she didn't need to go to the hospital or something, that she wasn't dehydrated, So say a prayer for my Hannah girl. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys if you do that. She's doing a lot better. All right, guys, I will talk to you again soon. Take care. Do something kind for somebody. It'll always come back to you. And bye for now.